What is going on, everybody? Welcome into this Week 18 edition of Cheese Comics with Kramer. I'm yours truly, Kramer Sansone, here for the next however long this needs to go. If you haven't done so, if you have a comment that's burning off your chest, just feel free, put it in the comment section down below, whether you're on X, YouTube, all one of those. Which if you are already, if you're not subscribed or following the page or channel, might as well just do so. Do that, turn notifications on, and feel free to comment below. We appreciate each and every single one of you who participates in anything that we do around here, around Foolish Club Media. Once again, I'm your host, Kramer Sansone, here for the next however long. It's week 18. Week 18. Kansas City Chiefs on the road taking on the Denver Broncos. Is there really much to discuss? Is there really much to talk about? I mean, I think the biggest elephant in the room is who's really going to watch the game. The backups are in for Kansas City Chiefs. Carson Wentz is going to play. I mean, I know they haven't actually officially announced that hey, this is happening. Which I think have they or not? But what I'm going to assume is Carson Wentz is going to play this weekend, and I feel like Carson Wentz is probably going to play a couple of quarters, and then we're going to see Chris Oladokun come out there and possibly shine for the Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, that'd be kind of cool if that's the possibility that does run its course. But yeah, Kansas City Chiefs resting their starters, presumably starters this week, as they should not be playing at all. 2 weeks rest is perfect. It's what they need. Yeah, so that's this game feels like the best case scenario for the Kansas City Chiefs. After we're going through that gauntlet of the winning the 3 games in 11-day stretch was absolutely amazing. The fact that the Kansas City Chiefs were able to get around that and secure that and defeat that, so good. So good. I feel like it's been forever since we watched a Chiefs game happen because they played on Christmas Day. That was in the middle part of the week. It was on Wednesday. It just doesn't seem right. It seems like forever ago the Chiefs have played. Plus, this is like kind of like a little mini bye that you could say that they've had since they haven't played in so long, and they were able to enjoy their Sunday this past Sunday and not have to worry about going up against bumping elbows with anybody on any opposing team. But that being said, you play the Denver Broncos this week, and your starters could have had possibly about 2.5 weeks of rest before the next game they would do in the divisional round of the playoffs. So good thing for the Chiefs, but you're not hearing me to ramble more about that. We're here to talk about the comments that you all submitted. So which, by the way, if you're watching, listening, feel free to comment about the Kansas City Chiefs and how you feel towards them at this part of the season. Well, as Week 18 is going to officially be underway here soon, which is still wild, the fact that it is Week 18. It's a new year. It's 2025. It's 2025. What's going on here? But you know what? Oh, well. Let's get to the comments.
Let's get to the comments.
All right, the first one this week coming in from Cam. Even with Carson Wentz playing, no team can beat the refs. Okay. I feel like this is an attack from what we've heard. I don't know if you guys haven't heard the Rich Eisen comment, the executive producer on the Rich Eisen show, pretty much was talking about how the dynasty would if the Chiefs win a three-peat and the dynasty becomes the Kansas City being the best dynasty of all time. He alluded to saying that the refs did help the Kansas City Chiefs this entire time, and they were always against the Patriots. Come on now. No. Even with Carson Wentz playing, no team can beat the refs. Cam, I just want to point this out. The ball just ended up to be siding with the Chiefs' side each time with the refs' flags. If anything, the Chiefs have been penalized. They're in the top 5 of teams being the most penalized, and most of the calls are actually going against them. So it's like, can we just take a step back and see that? Then I get it. Most crucial plays that happen at the most monumental moment in time for the refs to throw their flags, it happens to go on the Chiefs' side of them actually helping them out. I get that, but that's football. Like you can't question it. You can't harp on it. That's just how football is, and that's how football works. So this is a mid comment from you, Cam. This is definitely mid. This is a huge mid. One's coming in from Jake. If the Chiefs beat Denver and go 16-1, and the Vikings don't win the division, Andy Reid should be coach of the year. I agree. Yeah, no, Andy Reid should definitely be coach of the year because of what he's had to do in order to somewhat get a boost, somewhat of a jolt to this offense, knowing that all the plans had to go to a wayside once Marquise Hollywood Brown went down in the first game of training camp. Now, I feel like since then they had to scramble. That's when we saw Juju Smith-Schuster being signed to this team. DeAndre Hopkins was added to this team because of injuries that plagued the wide receiver room. Rashee Rice was another person that wasn't able to play this year anyways. But it's still, man, They've had so much problems, and they still have plenty of problems, especially on that offensive line. This isn't a very sexy 16-1 team. This could have easily been the Chiefs could have ruled out to win 9-10 games this season, and the calls could have been going on the other way. And heck, even after that, I still think Andy Reid was able to overcome these things. The only thing is, Andy Reid won't get the Coach of the Year award because of knowing the namesake of Patrick Mahomes as his quarterback. The fact that up in Denver, Sam Darnold's been doing what he's been doing, that's a good for O'Connell. Like that's perfect for that guy in order to win the Coach of the Year for them because you're using Sam Darnold. Now, if it was Andy Reid using Carson Wentz here, and Carson Wentz was 16-1 or however, whatever the 14-2 Vikings are right now, like if that was the case, heck, you'd still give that thing to Carson Wentz and Andy Reid. So I don't know. I would like to think that Andy Reid would because of so much the offense has changed from the beginning of this year to now. Oh, yeah, no, absolutely. But then again, can we just put the GM of the Year award out there and give that to Brett Veach? Because, I mean, this guy has literally done anything and everything to hopefully – like this is I know we're not talking about Andy Reid here. We're talking about Brett Veach. But Brett Veach deserves an award for the most outstanding GM award because this guy – has set a plan that every single year in the last 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years that he wants to win the Super Bowl. They won a three-peat. So what's Brett Veach doing? Doing anything he can possible to try and three-peat. And they are on a cusp. They're on the train that they're on right now that's riding right down to the Super Bowl weekend. Chiefs are in front row seat. They're not in the caboose. They're not. And they're going straight to the Super Bowl, and they're going to win that thing. That's what I believe. The Chiefs are going to three-peat, people. Andy should definitely be Coach of the Year if the Vikings don't win their division. Yeah, I agree. Let's come from Creighton. Bengals are telling everyone for years Joey was Pat's daddy. Yet here they are begging KC to beat Denver just to make the playoffs. Loser fan. Yep. I know it's 2025. There's a long year ahead of us, but this might be comment of the year. You never want a team that you've had beef with. Now you're like, hey, you please beat them. Please, can you please just beat this team for us? Now, if I'm the Kansas City Chiefs and that's little brother over there, I mean, granted, I'm going to try to win the game. The Chiefs are clearly not starting at full strength. They are going to find a way to, make this game even close with the Broncos. But this is a Broncos game to win, right? Like you have to. If you're the Broncos in your situation, you have to win. If I'm the Chiefs, you don't want the Bengals in the playoffs. But do you really want Denver Broncos in the playoffs? I don't think you want either team in the playoffs. So why don't the Chiefs just beat the Broncos? Bengals have to watch the Miami Dolphins defeat the Jets, and that will be the reason why the Bengals don't make it. So let's just hope for that case scenario. But no, definitely a loser fan base mentality, hoping for a team that you absolutely hate, want them to win so you can make the playoffs. Come on. Now, how about if you were a good team, you wouldn't have to be in that position to be like, hey, yeah, no, that team has to, Chiefs have to win. We're not going to make it. Come on now. Come on. Bengals fans. They're like Bills fans. I can't stand either one of them. I just don't. I just can't. I have some Bills fans and Bengals fans in my my friend group. Still can't stand them. The fan bases that there is. My friends are okay. I can't stand them either. All right, this one's come from Mike. Chiefs need to let Denver win. Everyone knows Burrow is twice as good as Mahomes. This is just another. This season, I would say Joe Burrow is better than Mahomes. I have full confidence when I say that. Now, Chiefs needing to win or needing to let Denver win? No, they don't need to let Denver win. Chiefs are going to. I don't think people understand. If Andy's with Pat, there's a very strong chance they are not going to lose that game. Like seriously, that's in case point. How many games have they won with each other? A lot. Don't give me this. I get it. Burrow's good this year, but man, if you put Mahomes versus Burrow right now, I'm still taking Mahomes. I am. There's not enough. There's not enough in that Bengals defense right now to think that I can see the Chiefs being stopped by that defense. So I'm not even going to discuss that because that's never going to happen. It won't happen in the playoffs either. It just won't. Come on, Mike, do better. By the way, this is the Comments Show. Chiefs Comments Kramer.
If you haven't done so, if you have comments burning from this week that's coming into this week 18, this matchup, this grueling match between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Denver Broncos, feel free, fire away. And honestly, if it doesn't have to be about this game, you can talk about anything. But going on this next comment from Cameron, Chiefs plus 425 on the money line. I think he's hammering that. Is that a good case scenario? I think that is, as I can bring the cattail down. Yeah. I'm not doing that though. But if you want to, let me get this thing down. Kazo, you got to go, bud. 425 with money line. I like the plus 10.5 Chiefs to cover. That seems very good. That seems very reasonable, actually. But Chiefs money line, who's smashing this 425 money line? Like, because you got some really cojones this week. You knowing that the Broncos have to win this game. They are in a dire need to win this game in order to go. Cameron, man, if you know what? I'm not the biggest. I guess I'm not the biggest gambling degenerate out there. I guess if I'm not taking this 425 money line, I get the Chiefs. Chiefs 10.5. I like better than that money line. I do. From Kobe, Pacheco hasn't been himself lately. That's true. The guy is coming off an injury. Injury that I still think he's still feeling. I still think they're starting to test him out. But then again, he's been in a couple meaningful games since he's been back from injury, and he's. One of the games I wouldn't say was meaningful. That's why I took it out. It was the game that he did come back. And, I mean, we saw him work a drive. That's what you just needed him to see how he went with a drive, and he went out there and he did great. And they kind of ramped him up a little bit more. But we really don't need to see him this week. I hope we don't see him this week. You got to rest him. But no, even if we're going to short yardage attempts this season, from the reliability standpoint or the faith standpoint, I think I can trust more Kareem Hunt getting those short yardage first downs rather than Isaiah Pacheco right now. I still think the injury is still a big factor of why he hasn't really ramped up to where we expect him to be at this point in time since his injury. But then again, we're just getting a lot of usage out of the running back room right now. Samaje Perine has actually looked really good as well. Carson Steele's finding his way somewhat in that backfield ever since the injuries went down earlier half of the season. That running back room, I think, is fine. Even though if Isaiah Pacheco hasn't been himself lately, having a four-headed monster that they got going right now is really good. And especially there's going to be guys that they work their running backs so good where they're always fresh when they're out there on the field. Like I'm telling you, Samaje Perine's going to be a difference maker for this team. We've already seen him being a difference maker in this team in the last 4 weeks. And I think that they've are riding the hot hand. If they're going to ride the hot hand, Samaje Perine's going to be a lot more looked in there. So we might see a one, like say in the divisional round, we might see a drive with Pacheco, and then we might see a drive with Hunt. We might see a drive with Perine, and then we can restart the process all over again. And then I think we're going to see very on and early after those first 3 drives there. Maybe let's go to the next, like maybe 5 or 6 drives. Then we're going to see after that 7th drive, who's the actual main catalyst, that running back. And I'm hoping it's Pacheco because I'm hoping he can find his way back into being that pop we all know, getting up and being all nasty after breaking through 3 tackles. All right, this one's coming in from Jordan. What's to blame for the Chiefs' inconsistency on offense? It's easy. That's I can name you 2 guys. I can name you one big one. Jawan Taylor's one of them. And the other one is whoever they put at left tackle. And that's not named Joe Thuney. Joe Thuney, man, that guy, I think he's just this dude is an agent. An agent of being like, I think this guy could be a bouncer at a nightclub. I think this guy could be your front security head. He's going to be a guy that no one's going to get past because what we've seen him so far at tackle, he looks like a damn good tackle right now. If I'm him, if I'm the Chiefs, I let him stay there, knowing the only crappy thing about it is he's not getting that left tackle money that we usually see those left tackles get. He's getting it on the cheaper end of the side of things. So it's easier to see the him going off, doing great things at the left tackle spot, keeping Mahomes upright, and then trying to find a guard to replace what Joe Thuney's spot is in this offense, which is being a guard. He's clearly one of the, if not the best offensive lineman that we've seen in the NFL, being all versatile, whether playing in any position, whether if it's on the left or right side, or even at taking snaps under center. I'm pretty sure I have full faith and confidence that Joe Thuney can do that. Now, Juwan Taylor, that dude has been nothing but a liability to this team ever since been joining this team. I feel like that $80 million contract is the only reason why he's still there right now. Because I actually kind of want to see Wanya Morris play right tackle, which I hope that's what happens this week. A guy who's really familiar with the right tackle spot, because where did he play in college? Right tackle. So I want to see Wanya there at right, because Juwan Taylor there, I see this in person. The gap that he gets off to try to protect that edge rusher, trying to set the edge properly, how he gets beat, he's exposing himself on the interior side. That's why Trey Smith is getting flagged so much. And I feel so bad for Trey Smith, because the Houston Texans game, again, I was at the last home game here. You could see it clear as day where the field of vision that I had, the hole was massive. And I understand why Trey Smith is getting flagged, because Juwan Taylor jumping too far out. You trust your hands, man. Trust that push out right. See if you can get them to the ground, or get them and push them away to at least free up a few more seconds there to protect Mahomes. He's way too slow with his feet. He's way too slow with his hands. The fact that he was able to get an $80 million contract on a 4-year deal with the Chiefs is absolutely asinine, but I understand what the Chiefs were trying to do. They thought that was the right answer at that time, and it clearly wasn't. It has backfired them. But then again, has it though? They won a Super Bowl last year with him at right tackle. They're probably going to win a Super Bowl again with him this year at right tackle, and he's one of the worst. That just seems ridiculous. But the fact that you have Patrick Mahomes back there, I have all full faith and trust in this team because of that. So I digress. I feel like that's the only way that inconsistency is on offense is the trenches, and it's definitely your left tackle and your right tackle. I'm telling you, Joe Thuney's the best. I can't wait I'm hoping we see Kingsley on Sunday. I hope we see Wanya on Sunday. I hope we see Ethan Driscoll on Sunday. Ethan Driscoll's a massive dude. He's on the practice squad right now, so they have to get him on up. But man, that 6'9" frame needs to get them on the field right now. He's about 380, almost 400 pounds. Now that's a left tackle if I can ever. A 6'9" guy, close to 400 pounds, sign him up to be my blindside protector. I just want to see it. But yeah, no, that will do it here for the Chiefs Comments with Kramer of this Week 18. Going into Week 18 edition, ridiculous the fact that we've already made it a full year. The fact that we made it a full 18 weeks so far and counting, because you know what? We might be off next week because, it's a bye. What is there to discuss? But you know what? In 2 weeks time, the divisional matchup, we will dissect. We will take all the comments, the questions, and the concerns that we will discuss right here on Chiefs Comments with Kramer. Thank you from everybody here at the Foolish Club Media. We do thank you. Feel free to turn on notifications, like, subscribe, do all the fun stuff. We appreciate you all. Have a good one, Kansas City. And, good luck with that snow this weekend, KC. I'll be dealing with you as well. It's going to be just get your groceries, get your milk, get everything you need, hunker down. Good luck. I've seen some 3 feet of snow to 30 inches of snow. So whatever we can trust here, just be safe. Let's do smart things, and let's enjoy some football Sunday. Have a good one.